Do you think that Thailand is cheap, beautiful, and full of entertainment? Only until you get deported by violating rules you don't know, ending up at a doctor without a proper education, or paying triple for regular stuff. In this video, I will share the most important tips you should know before visiting Thailand. If I had known this, I would have made much less stupid mistakes. Hi everyone, I'm Artem. I've been living in Thailand for more than 3 years already, and I also co-founded Inside Estate in Thailand, where we help foreigners acquire beautiful homes for investment or for personal living. Let's get started. So let's talk real numbers. Is Thailand really that cheap to travel to? Well, it depends on your flights. So flights is the most expensive thing, and you can check on your favorite airline website. But as for living here, I think if you come as a tourist, like 2 people, very regular or closer to economy, you will need around $1,000 if you come in as a couple, right? And that includes hotel, restaurants, breakfast, dinner, and lunch. And it includes some beach fun, maybe sunbeds, some transportation, etc., etc. So I think with 1,000 for a couple per week, you're good to go to Thailand for like 3-star hotel or even 4-star hotel if it's not the peak season. Good to go. If you are living here long term, again 1,000, but more likely 1,500 is a decent budget for a couple for living in Bangkok or in Phuket, the 2 most expensive parts of Thailand. And this includes accommodation of a small apartment, maybe a studio or 1 bedroom. That could be around $500-600 for a long-term contract. And also, if you prepare food at home, it's quite cheap. So I guess the same amount, maybe 1,500 for a couple for a month. That's a good budget for a long-term stay in Thailand. What's the minimum amount of cash you need to carry with you? To be frank, me personally, I'm not a cash person, so I do like digital payments all the time. I guess I have maybe 1,000 baht, something like that. That's around $30. I think that's okay if you need like a taxi or you need an emergency lunch or something like that. That should cover your costs. When entering Thailand, sometimes the officials, the customs, they might ask if you have enough funds to support your time in Thailand. And I guess the rule of thumb here is $50 a day, something like that. If you have some cash on hand, that would be nice. But also if you can show that you have money on your bank account, that's also perfectly fine. So when you are in the airport, you can withdraw some of the local cash just to pay for the taxi from the airport, because unlikely they will accept your credit card. In Bangkok or in Phuket, it's in the range of 500, 700, maybe 1,000 baht. So something in between $15 and $30 in cash is good enough for your first day. Guys, later in the video, I will share more tips on taxis, money withdrawal, and so on and so forth. So stay tuned. What items are most overpriced in Thailand? What surprised me, I guess this is more about the Western food in general. If you go to a local place for breakfast, you spend just few dollars. If you go to a Western place for breakfast, you spend like a dozen of dollars, maybe a few dozens of dollars, so it's not comparable. And in general, Western food and Western groceries are more expensive. So the biggest nightmare for me are pickles, surprisingly. So like some crazy price tags for like a jar of pickled cucumbers. So I really miss that. In my home country, it's like a staple food and it costs like nothing. And also some things like bread, European cheese, maybe apples. Mangoes is like 10 times more affordable than apples. And for me as a person from the Western country, that feels a little bit overpriced. Again, mango makes my day much more bright. I'm sharing more tips on living in Thailand as a foreigner on this channel, so make sure to subscribe and click the like button below this one. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Kapun kap. We covered the money part, let's cover the safety part. So when it comes to safety, I guess Thailand is in the top list of the most safe places on earth. So of course bad things do happen from time to time, but it's very rare. Me and also my wife, we feel very, very safe in this country. Sometimes we don't lock the house, sometimes we don't lock the car. We leave the helmets on the bike and go to the beach or to the restaurant or whatever it is. And we never lost anything in Thailand. So in general, feels very, very safe. Your safety is also your responsibility. So let's try to cover some of the points that will make your journey and your time here much more pleasant and will help you to avoid bad surprises. So first one is insurance. Do you need insurance when traveling to Thailand? I would say you do. Having an insurance makes life easier. In general, Thailand has one of the most advanced medical systems in the world, so the level of medicine here is really top-notch. But as for pricing, again, just going to a doctor will cost you around $100 and the insurance is usually much cheaper than that, even if you buy one for like a few months and you go to the doctor once, it's easier if you have insurance. And also, if you go by bike and an accident happens or you fall off or something else, maybe you meet a jellyfish in the sea. So I guess insurance would be nice and I would really recommend to have one. Let's imagine bad things and you got sick. What do? If it's not something severe, where you just call the emergency, I guess with 112 on your cell phone as a universal number across the big part of the globe. If it's not an emergency, you can go to international hospitals, and there are a lot. I think in Phuket alone, where I live, we have more than 10. You go there and the guys there will help you. They speak usually English, or you can ask for a translator if you're not comfortable. So hopefully everything with your health is okay, but we have also some bad things happening just on the street with other people, and whether police will be there to help you and to assist you, I would say definitely yes, especially in the touristic places. So you can definitely rely on the police and on their help if it's needed. Fun fact, part of our safety also comes from our clothes, right? I'm not suggesting you are wearing this type of stuff to the beach, but I would really, really warn you and recommend treat sunny days with caution. If you're coming from a colder place, I suggest you always use the sunscreen. Maybe you will use long sleeves instead of t-shirts, or maybe use some kind of pants instead of the shorts, because I see it all the time, some random guys like super white, not with a touch of sun on them. They go by bike without a t-shirt and next day they are completely red and they can't do anything, they can't sleep, they can't, turn from left to right just because it hurts. So don't be those people. Next block is about your everyday life in Thailand. Number one, what's the best way to get around? Where you go by foot, by bike, by car. With all the honesty, going by foot is tough. This is not the country where you can walk everywhere. You don't have a lot of pavements, you don't have a lot of infrastructure, you don't have a lot of pedestrian crossroads and etc, etc. Local crowd and a lot of tourists prefer to go by bike, but not the bike you need to do some exercising, but like a motorbike. You can rent it on every corner. Better if you have a driving license to drive a bike, but this is the most convenient and the most cheap mean of transport. So I definitely suggest you try that, but always wear helmet. Long sleeves and helmet. That's important. And you can go by car, by taxi, or you can rent a car, but pay attention that here you have, if you're coming from Western Europe or from the US, here in Thailand, we drive on the opposite side of the road, so pay attention and be careful. If you're coming from Australia or UK, you are perfectly fine to go just the same way as you do back home. What about the apps? I guess two most important ones are Google Maps It works perfectly fine here. You can find anything and everything on the map. And I would also suggest Google Translate. This might be helpful in some places where people are not that fluent in English. Next up, I guess it's Grab. So Grab is a local Uber, right? This is a super app where you can get food delivery, taxi, bike taxi, and a whole bunch of other services. I guess for me, it's the most used application in Thailand, so Grab is definitely a thing you should have. As for the payment solutions, Thai government announced they will be launching a digital wallet for tourists, but it's not yet live. But I guess when it is, we will update the link in the description below. You will be able to use it without a local bank account. So again, stay tuned. I hope it will go live soon, still this year, 2025. So do you need to learn Thai? Well, definitely you are not forced to do that. So local people will appreciate if you speak a few Thai words to them. They really like it. And I understand that completely. But in general, especially in the touristic places, people tend to speak English with a distinct accent you have to get used to, but you can go with English, no problem. And again, as already mentioned, Google Translate is one of the apps you might need. So it's very easy to communicate with local guys who are not fluent in English or who don't want to speak in English. So just use the Google Translate, that's perfectly fine. But you're not forced to learn Thai, you're good to go with English. So next is the internet connection. Again, in general, the Wi-Fi is everywhere. And the speeds of Wi-Fi here in Thailand are amazing. You will experience like super lightning fast connection everywhere. As for the local SIM card, if you are coming, even if you are coming for just a few days, for a week or something like that, I guess that buying a local SIM card is an easy way to save some money. You have 7-Eleven everywhere, you can buy a local SIM card there. And I recently bought for my mother-in-law who is visiting right now. So 7 days internet, 3 gigabytes of internet for 7 days was 49 baht, which is less than $2. So I guess that's a deal you can't resist. Visit your local 7-Eleven and buy a local SIM card. Can you move to Thailand with your pet, with your dog or with your cat? Actually, you might have heard my cat previously in this video. He was about to participate in the video recording. So moving here with your pet, I can't say it's that straightforward, but it's definitely can be done. We have 2 cats coming here from our home country with us. It was okay process, really well managed in the international airport. No weird questions asked. Make your due diligence before. So coming here with a dog or with a cat is way easier than doing so with Bali in Indonesia, for example, or moving to Australia with your dog. That's a nightmare. With Thailand, it's really nothing that crazy and could be done easily. One thing to consider, if you're coming with your dog or with your cat, you are gonna be looking for pet-friendly accommodation. I can't say it's rare, but just make sure the hotel you're booking is a pet-friendly hotel. So where to live in Thailand? Thailand, I would say, is a very contrast place, even in the most buzzing places and most touristic places like Bangkok, Pattaya, or Phuket, you can find accommodation which is in the center of hard partying and going crazy all night long to a very quiet villages where everyone is asleep at 8 p.m. I live in a perfectly quiet place, super relaxed, chill, quiet. When my friends are coming and they want to party, they can live 20 minutes from here or 30 minutes from here. Bars, nightclubs, beach clubs, you name it. Same for Bangkok, actually. Make sure you understand what you are looking for and find the perfect accommodation for that. So I guess the 3 most popular destinations in Thailand are naturally Bangkok, the capital. Second one is Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai, the second most populated city in Thailand in the north. Very beautiful surroundings, mountains, coffee growers, trail runners. If you're into this vibe, definitely a place to explore. And the third, I guess, should be Phuket, a beautiful tropical island where you can find some touristic places, but also there are a lot of people who are living specifically in Phuket long term with all the international schools, hospitals, good infrastructure, and etc. So you have a bunch of places to choose from. One more thing to consider is about traffic jams. Traffic in Thailand, especially in Bangkok and sometimes in Phuket, can get really crazy and you can get stuck, not forever, but for a while in a traffic jam. So try to avoid morning and evening rush hours. I guess that's really straightforward, like 7 to 10 in the morning and probably 5 to 7 in the afternoon. But again, if you go by bike, you can beat the traffic much more efficient versus the car. And now the main thing about Thailand. This is, of course, Thai food. Thai food is really something unique. I love it. Probably Thai food loves me as well. It's very different. It's very fragrant. It could be very spicy, but it is definitely something that you cannot resist. Me personally, I cannot resist Thai food almost every day. But again, this is something very personal. Some people love Thai food, just like me. For example, my wife is not the biggest fan. She has her few dishes that she adores, but she can't eat it every day. So sometimes we struggle to find something to eat together. So first and foremost, that people are asking, is it safe to actually enjoy street food in Thailand? In my experience, I have never experienced anything bad or any food poisoning from Thai street food. I don't go really like super local, not even places, but you know, guys making kebabs on a bike. Usually I don't consume that. But in terms of street food, I go to very local places and never ever had bad experience. My take would be that it is safe to enjoy Thai street food. But of course, things do happen, unfortunately, but in general, I have never experienced that. What about the spiciness of the food? Actually, good news is that majority of dishes you can adjust the spiciness level. I guess in 80% of the dishes, you can ask for no spicy version. And if you're asking for something very spicy, they put a bunch of chilies in your dish and it goes crazy. So you can always adjust the level of spiciness in your dish, at least in the majority of the dishes. How to find good places to eat? First and foremost, ask your friends, or maybe someone from your friends have been to the city, to the island, to Thailand, and can recommend something. So that is definitely something to have in mind. Second, you can consult the local food guides or some international ones, for example, Michelin Guide. Phuket alone, not a tiny island, but still an island, we have almost 70 restaurants or places in the Michelin food guide. You can enjoy them. They are very of a different level in terms of the prices. Google Maps is definitely something you can rely on. And don't hesitate to ask the receptionist in your hotel, maybe your taxi driver. You have a lot of options to choose from. What about pricing? If you are going to a local place where local people have like a quick lunch, one dish will be around 60 baht, which is less than $2. That's a regular price across the country. In some places it's even cheaper. Let's say I go with my wife to such a place. We have two main dishes and maybe one salad or one dish of vegetables. It's around 200 baht, $6-7. Perfectly normal price for a lunch for two people in a very, very local place. If you're going to something more, I can't say it's upscale, but something more restaurant-like, but again local, one dish will be around $7 per dish. Of course, you can find expensive and even Michelin-starred restaurants with Thai cuisine, very expensive. But usually, as a rule of thumb, Western food is much more expensive versus local food. 3 times more expensive, maybe 4 times more expensive. Comparing to London or Sydney or Miami, the prices are substantially lower, but comparing to local options, it's 2, 3, 4 times more expensive. That's not all. I'm sharing much more tips in this video, so make sure to click on it and enjoy it. And I'll see you in the next one.